Hello, nerds! Thank you for joining me here on Nerd News Clips. This is the second channel. This is the place for all of the short-form content as well as the individual sections and just generally speaking smaller things. If you are into the longer form content, youtube.com/generallynerdy is the place to go see that. With that out of the way, let's get into this. Now let's talk comic books and books. We don't have any literature to discuss this episode, but we do have Power Rangers comic book has been announced, and this is the push for the 100th episode in the Power Rangers series. They're introducing a new Death Ranger. This new Death Ranger is very interesting because it seems that it is going to be an alien race, and this alien race is all non-binary, non-gender conforming, if you will. So very interesting. The community is a little split by this. I don't know how to put that any nicer, but I wanted to bring this up because I feel like this is a fair way to check off the box, right? If you're looking to introduce in a world such as the Power Rangers, a character that goes by this non-gender conforming, non-binary, whatever terminology we're using today, then why wouldn't this be the best option? This is a brand new character from a new race that they're introducing. They're going to introduce the character and I believe the world that the character comes from in the same book. It's going to be a one-off book from Boom, obviously Boom Studios. It is called Power Rangers Unlimited. The Death Ranger will be the name of the one-off book. And then, like I said, this is going to be the arc that gets us to issue 100 for the Power Rangers arc, which is it's a big milestone, man. It's been a bit of a bumpy road, but I think this could potentially be story over storytelling over politics. Let's put it a little bit more succinctly. They are obviously trying to check that box. They are obviously trying to appease certain people who honestly mostly don't read comics, but that's a whole other argument, which is fine if they honestly think they can still tell a valid story. And it sounds like that's the direction it's going. I was unable to find a release date for the one-shot that is going to introduce us to the new Death Ranger, but once we get that, we'll throw it in the follow-up section. Our next piece of news for comic books and books has to do with one of my favorite Spider-Man villains, which is a weird thing to say because I don't read much Spider-Man, but I have read a fair amount of Carnage. We have a new Carnage arc that is just starting, and this new Carnage arc is going to take us to hell. Carnage is going to the seventh circle, if you will. He's going to dethrone Malekith. He's going to go through all of the dark elves, I believe, is who live in hell these days in the Marvel Universe. This is just sounds too crazy to not read, and so we had to talk about it. It is going to start with book number 6 in the ongoing series that is currently going right now. And that is going to drop in August. Book 1 and 2 are currently on shelves. Book 3, I believe, comes out next week. So if you want to catch this arc from the beginning, then you are at a perfect time. If you just want to read the part where we go to hell, then issue number 6 in August is going to be the book for you. That is what we have for comic books and books this episode, except for comic books suggestions. Our suggestion for comic books and books is actually an author that I was privileged enough to interview this past weekend, or 2 weekends ago now, for Starfest. R. Alan Brooks is a Colorado author who has written quite the story with Anguish Garden. This is something that should be read. I think it is a quality story. It is, it's allegory for our times in a lot of ways that work. So that is our suggestion for comic books and books is Anguish Garden. Go check it out. I believe you can find them on Amazon. Side note for R. Alan Brooks, like I said, I did get to interview him at Starfest the other weekend, and his interview has not yet posted. I believe we're going to post that one after the Terry Farrell interview, which is going up this weekend. And Terry Farrell obviously played Dax in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, so stick around for that. If you haven't subscribed already, then you should probably do that, or at least thumbs up the video so that when that posts, if you want to listen to the interview, that you can do that. But yeah, so that is Comic Books and Books.
Once again, this has been just a brief segment from the larger episode that has been posted over on the main channel, youtube.com/generallynerdy. Go over there for the long form content, or just subscribe here if you want it in bite-sized chunks. Thank you very much for joining me, nerds. We'll see you in the next one. Before we go though, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.